Hi guys, Melinda Fargus here. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. Wow, lots and lots of things changing in the world. But this week is National Police Week. So I want to make sure that you say thank you to a police officer. Um, I know I feel safer with security and a police presence that I can count on, and I hope you do too. Um, in this week's big news, New Zealand is finally opening. They have set the date for July 31st. And in other big news, the Carnival Magic sailed from Norfolk yesterday. They're going to do 10 sailings out of Norfolk, Virginia this year. And since that's such a drivable market for us, and it's a great ship because it's one of their big ships, hit me up if you would like information on that. Now, before I give you any more updates, I want to introduce you to someone, and she's built her business protecting children and families with changing circumstances. Maybe a divorce or a death. Uh, Her name is Erin Edgar. I wish you guys were here to give her a hand. Hi, Erin. How are you?
I'm good, Melinda. How are you? Thank you
I'm
for
marvelous.
having me. I appreciate you having me today.
hmm So we were talking about how travel would be related to a financial advisor. And and I have the perfect situation. I hope that I have my customers who are stuck in Rome right now because she tested positive for COVID the day before she was going on a cruise. I hope that they have their affairs in order because that was one of the things Erin said to me. What if somebody gets stuck in a foreign land? Well, sure enough, I have cat passengers right now, and it looks like he's going to come home and she's going to stay in a COVID hotel. What do you think about that, Erin?
Well, excuse me. First, Melinda, I would like to say, both for your benefit and for your patrons, thank you for having me here, and also provide you a little bit of a distinction because I am not a financial advisor, so I don't want to mislead anyone here. I am actually an estate planning attorney, and those are two very different things. A financial advisor tells you how to handle your money. I don't tell you how to handle your money or handle money for you. However, what I do is help you to plan for death, because it's going to come to all of us, and for unforeseen circumstances such as illness or changes in your family that may come to almost all of us. So, Melinda, regarding your situation, the woman in the quote unquote COVID hotel and the husband coming home, I would hope, first of all, emotionally, it would be a very difficult, draining situation for a couple to be in. He is not knowing, her recovery, going to have to take extra effort to maintain communication with her, and she is lonely in a foreign country without family or friends to support her, probably. I imagine they're on like
Right?
a
That's
couple's
right.
trip. So that's very distressing. And first of all, it is to everyone's benefit to have your affairs in order. And this involves not only, who's making financial decisions for you while you're gone, but also who should be contacted if you're in a foreign country and there's some kind of emergency and you're ill and you're unable to tell people who you want contacted to make treatment decisions for you, because in the US, it's a very important right that we have to make our own treatment decisions. So, those are the things I help people to take care of before they travel, so that if they do travel, all of those decisions will be written down and they will have records of it on them when they travel. And there will be record of it here, and people will know that they are the trusted individuals these folks are relying on.
Awesome. And I apologize for saying financial advisor. I guess I was thinking about having all of your affairs in order.
Hmm.
So I apologize. I certainly know that. Um, if there are um, if there are families that are traveling, one of the things I didn't realize is once my son turned 18, is it 18 or 21? Now I need to do a power of attorney, a medical power of attorney, when he and I travel so that I would have that right?
Well, actually, when someone turns 18, and in our state it's 18, I should
Okay.
specify we live in North Carolina. Other states may have different regulations. When someone turns 18, that person becomes an adult. And we don't like to think of our children at age 18 being adults and capable of handling their own money and their own health decisions. Actually, according to the law, they are. People grew up a lot faster in the olden days than they do now. So, because when you turn 18, you legally become an adult. Um, there are certain things that adults need to do. They are all of a sudden responsible for their own medical and financial decisions, which means that if they want to give that responsibility to someone else or have someone else help them, they certainly can. Now, in North Carolina, a parent cannot make medical decisions for an adult child unless that adult child, number one, gives them permission to do so, and number two, that permission can only exist in a case of emergency when that adult child is unable to make those decisions themselves. So, if a parent wants to make decisions, medical decisions for their adult child, what ends up happening is that adult child has to say yes, number one, and number two, the parent is now in a different position, which is I can't make any decisions for my child unless that child's not able to, which is really something that parents have a hard time getting used to in a lot of cases. And
Yeah.
doctors don't have to talk to the parents at all unless that child's unable to make those decisions. Pardon me, adult child.
Well, thank you. Um, what other situations can we think of that we should be proactive? Like right now is the middle of our planning season for vacations. And, we've got lots of families, several multi gen
Mm.
families this year. So, I don't sell a trip without travel insurance right now. But what other things might we be blindsided by?
Sure. So there is the case of, I'm thinking primarily of these people in the pandemic. They were gone for longer than they thought. So you can say, for instance, oh, I'll only be gone 2 weeks. I'll have my neighbor get my mail. No big deal. But what if you were gone for over a month because of extenuating circumstances? Or, let's not even say there was a disaster. Let's just say you're on a cruise ship and you're stuck out in the ocean because there was an outbreak of COVID on your cruise ship. You've got what, over 4 weeks you're gone. Well, all of a sudden, you're going to start to get bills coming to your house. And I am not in the banking industry, but I have seen enough cases where people are either missing or they're unable to return home for some reason. And if that's the case, they need to designate someone to, um, number one, make sure that the water is off in your house. Uh, but aside from that, number two, make sure that your bills are paid. This is very important. So, what can you do? I had some relatives, and when they traveled, they didn't, they had someone else as their financial power of attorney for long term. But what they did was they asked me and they authorized me through their bank to pay their bills. If that ever became necessary, I would have access to their accounts. It was like an emergency thing. I don't know. It only lasted, it was very temporary. Um, and the bank put it together, and it was according to the terms of their bank. But I would advise anyone traveling, if you don't have the time to have an attorney create an estate plan for you, because that process takes some time, or you have one, but you want to designate someone to pay your bills while you're gone in case you've got an emergency, at least, at minimum, go to your bank and ask them how to do it.
Great information. Um, Comments have come in that said, good information to know. Thank you so much. Um, Tell us now, I'm in a couple networking circles with Erin, but if somebody wanted to reach you, how could they reach out to you?
Certainly. So the best way is to email me. And my first name is Erin, which is Erin, at erinedgarlegal.com. You can also find my website, which is erinedgarlegal.com. Those are the best ways to both get in touch with me and find out a little bit about what I do and how I may be able to help you.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much. And if you'll put your contact information in the chat, I would really appreciate it. And other people will have that information. Um, and thank you so much for giving of your time tonight and allowing me to introduce you to a different circle, maybe, than you've been around. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate it, and I will see you very soon in one of our groups. Thank you so much, Erin.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, you can tell I'm having difficulty here. My what is holding my computer keeps sliding around, and my map slid around. So, what can I say? I wanted to have a new background, and well, this is what you have tonight: a crooked map. Okay, let me tell you what else is really going on. So, I told you about the Norfolk sailing, and one big piece of news is that the Margaritaville ship has a new godfather, and he is an NFL player. He was a native from Florida, and they sailed their first sailing this weekend on the all-inclusive Margaritaville ship. Can't wait to check that out. Okay. Tout Tours wanted to make everybody aware that they are fully operational again. Tout Tours, if you've been on one, and I have a handful of travelers that's all that they'll do. Once you do a tout tour, it's hard to go back to something else. They're fully operational again, and they do all over the world: Australia, New Zealand, Africa, all over Europe, and they even have U.S. departures and U.S. trips as well to out west. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, there is a new nonstop flight from Raleigh, Durham. Now you can go to Reykjavik, Iceland, direct from Raleigh, Durham. That's just in time. Maybe we really can pull that trip out next spring so that we can see the aurora lights. We did it for the last 2 years, and for 2 years it's been canceled. I'll share with you that during National Police Week, there are several companies that are giving discounts. Pleasant Holidays goes all over the Caribbean, Mexico, and Hawaii, and they are offering discounts in all of their markets. Many cruise lines are also participating too, with discounts not only for police officers, but for all first responders. Reach out to your favorite travel agent to see how you can get a discount on your next trip. Okay, I ran across a very interesting poll this week, and it was the most popular hotel brands in the world. And guess Who was number one? I'm watching your responses. Hello, Linda Aiken. Hello, Charles. Hey, Dr. Eason and Kay. And hey, Lisa and Tawana. Hey, Tawana. So tell me what you think was the number one hotel chain in the world by popular demand. Da, 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 da. The clock is ticking. Nobody's writing. Or it hasn't come across yet. Somebody guess it. Choice Hotels. That was close, believe it or not. That was very close, but number one were Hilton's. Hilton Hotels were number one with an 8 out of 10 rating. Elaine and Tawana piped in at Hilton right as I said it. I should have waited one more second, guys. Number two was Holiday Inn, IAG properties. Now they take, a lot of space, IAG, because um, that includes intercontinental hotels. There are several chains, just like Hilton has several chains, but um, Holiday Inns were number two, followed closely by Doubletree Hotels by Hilton, and next was Sheridan's were number four. It's terrible when you can't read your own writing. Sheridan's were number four. Oh, JW Marriott, St. Regis Properties, and then Ritz Carlton. Okay, so I was curious what would be listed as the most luxurious properties. And Four Seasons came up first. Four Seasons have 101 five-star properties around the globe. Ritz Carlton was next with 51 five-star properties. And St. Regis was next with 35 properties. Now, you have to understand, Hilton's have us by far because Hilton's are in 134 countries, and Holiday Inns are only in 54 countries. But it is in the most demand. Those were voted on, and I picked those up off of Travel Pulse, off of a new listing this week. But speaking of voting, tomorrow is voting day. And if you are in this area, please go vote, or please do not whine when you don't like the way things are going. Go vote. It's early voting. I'm going to help out at the polls tomorrow afternoon. So hope to see you there. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, I was going to tell you that Maverick Radio is going to do their trip to Nashville. It's going to be July 23rd to the 27th. Joe Don Baker has got something going on each and every evening. And with backstage at the Ryman, backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, lots of meet and greets with stars that he has set up. And if you book it right now, you can still get on the early bird saving. It's $16.95, but if you book it right away, just tell them that Melinda told you you could have early bird for $1,500. That's your motor coach, most meals, a lot of activity, and July 22nd to the 27th. If that doesn't work for you, remember we're going to Alaska in September. We're going to do Hawaii in October. And yes, we announced last week that we are doing Scotland and Ireland the 31st of April of 2023. I hope that one of those may fit you. And I am very excited that New Zealand is open again. It would be one place that I would definitely go back to, even with that long flight. So, right here is the QR code that takes you to our LinkedIn page for Action Travel and me, Melinda Fargas. And I would love to set up an appointment with you. I will give a 15-minute planning session, no cost. I think that that's the problem, is that many people think that it costs too much to see an agent. And in actuality, the airlines, the cruise lines, the tour companies, they pay us a commission, so you don't have to. Uh, we like to say our service is free, but our advice is invaluable. All right. Remember, without a travel agent, you're on your own. So come see us, and we can be reached at 336-222-TRIP, 222-8747. Have a great week, guys. Ciao.